I'm going to talk about the Scotsman SRCP065A 1SU Undercounter ice machine, because I know how easy it is to feel stuck between, I need a steady supply of ice for my home bar, and I don't want to waste space or money on something that ends up sitting idle. If you've ever tried to keep a party going with a bag of ice that melts faster than you can pour drinks, you'll understand the hesitation. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In the next few minutes I'll walk through what it's like to actually install this unit, how it behaves day to day, and whether the price tag matches the real value you'll get. First off, the biggest question most people have is whether an undercounter machine belongs in a residential kitchen at all. The Scotsman SRCP065A 1SU is designed for commercial-grade output up to 65 pounds of ice per day, but it's packaged in a stainless steel shell that fits under a standard countertop, with a 26-pound bin that slides out on a small rail. That means you're looking at a piece of equipment that can produce enough ice for a small cocktail party, a weekly family gathering, or even a home-based catering side hustle, without taking up floor space. If you already have a pantry or a utility closet where a 30-inch deep unit can sit, the flexible installation claim holds up. The machine is air-cooled, so you don't need a dedicated water line or a drain pump that runs through the floor. The real-world setup is fairly straightforward, but not completely plug-and-play. You'll need a standard 120V outlet within 3 feet of the unit, a water source with an inch supply line, and a place for the drain hose to run into a sink or a floor drain. The manual walks you through the connections, but the key is to leave a little slack on the water line so the machine can be pulled out for cleaning. The stainless steel body is resistant to fingerprints and minor scratches, which is a nice touch if the unit ends up in a high-traffic area. Once you turn it on, the built-in pump drains any residual water from the previous cycle, then the compressor kicks in and starts making clear, cube-shaped ice that's perfect for sipping cocktails or filling a cooler for a weekend outing. What matters most after installation is how the ice output matches your daily rhythm. For a family that drinks a few glasses of wine each night, the 65-pound daily capacity is more than enough. You'll rarely see the bin empty before the next morning. For a home bar that hosts weekly happy hours, the machine will refill the bin several times a night, ensuring you never run out. The bin itself holds 26 pounds of ice, which translates to roughly 3 hours of continuous serving if you're pulling ice at a steady rate. The integrated LED lighting inside the bin is a small but practical feature. You can see at a glance whether you need to empty it, and the light also makes it easier to spot any stray ice shards that might have gotten stuck. One hidden trade-off that shows up once you start using the machine daily is the noise level. Because the unit is air-cooled, the fan runs continuously to keep the condenser from overheating. In a quiet kitchen the hum is noticeable, especially if the machine is tucked under a countertop where sound can bounce off cabinets. It's not deafening, but if you're someone who values a silent environment while cooking, you'll want to give the unit a little breathing room, perhaps a couple of inches away from the wall to reduce vibration. The noise isn't a deal-breaker for most people, but it's worth mentioning because the spec sheet doesn't highlight it. Another practical consideration is water usage. The machine draws water from a standard line and recirculates it through a filtration system that prevents mineral buildup. Over time you'll need to replace the filter. Scotsman recommends doing it every 6 months if you have hard water. This adds a small recurring cost that some buyers overlook when they focus solely on the upfront price. On the plus side, the pump drain and smart alerts system will warn you on the display panel if the bin is full, if the water supply is low, or if the internal temperature rises beyond safe limits. Those alerts prevent the kind of surprise shutdowns that can ruin a party when the ice just stops making. Who should buy this? If you're a home entertainer who regularly hosts gatherings of 10 to 20 people, the ability to produce fresh ice on demand is a game-changer. It also makes sense for people who run a small side business, think a weekend brunch pop-up, or a backyard food truck-style operation, because the consistent output eliminates the need to constantly restock bags of ice from the store. The stainless steel construction also appeals to folks who want a professional look in their kitchen. It blends in better than a plastic countertop unit and can handle the occasional splash without warping. Who should skip it? If your ice needs are limited to a few bottles,